All right. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and kick off the meeting because I think we've got a lot of people in here already, which is awesome. Welcome back, Watabe.
Thank you. Miss you too.
Cool. All right. Well, GM, I'll yeah, maybe we can just, in case there's a couple other people joining, we can go ahead and start first with the check-ins. I have the agenda up here. If you had anything to add, let me know. But I think we've got a couple things here for today to cover, and then we've got the board to go through. So, yeah. So I'm gonna kick it off with intentions and distractions and top priorities for this week. Yeah, my intention is to go through the agenda, where I've added a couple things myself, and yeah, that's already stated there. I don't have any distractions. I'm definitely very present here today. And yeah, my priorities for the week is just to make sure we are closing off the project owner one-on-one course, and that we have all the comms prepared to actually launch that. So yeah, that's basically the main thing from my side, along with making sure that everything else on the board is moving forwards. I'll go ahead and pass this to Franco.
Hey, thanks, Corey. Intentions for the call, just catching up and streaming the call. No distractions. Priority this week, it's the same as last week. I'm working on documentations, it's slowly, but I'm working on it. I haven't had like a lot of time, but yeah, that's my focus this week. And I'll pass it to Sim.
Thanks, Franco. Hey, everyone. My priorities for the week are to look at analytics. I've added something to the to our agenda, and also have a chat about the content planning for social with Corey and Claire. Otherwise, any other priorities that may have come up since the hack happened, if there's anything that needs to be produced. Then secondary priority is the volatile versus stable coins review, but that wasn't urgent. I don't have any distractions, and I'm going to pass to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Tim. Yeah, so my intentions this week are to get the Project 101 course live. So I'll share an update on that in a bit. It's almost done. And also analytics as well. So maybe when we talk about that section, Sim, I can also go over how I set up conversions on the reporting tools. So I can show you how you can look at things like how many people donated and made a project and things like that. Yeah, so those are, I think, my two main priorities this week. And yeah, I'm not distracted besides just normal stuff. And let me pass it to Claire.
Thanks, Ahmad. Hi, everyone. So my focus for this week is around the comms planning process with Sim and Corey. Would like also to discuss if there's any content that should be posted on Facebook or LinkedIn about the hack. I wasn't really sure whether that's something that we'd want to post there. And I don't have any distractions. And I'm going to pass to Lauren.
Thanks, Claire. Yeah, so my intentions for the call are just to sync up on everything, letting just riding the wave of the beautiful comm show here. And my top priorities for comms this week are just anything that has to do with like updating people on the status of the Give farm and all these things. I'm mostly kind of trying to put my energy into like cleaning up everything. And besides that, the Regen Farms Twitter space, which is happening tomorrow, and preparations and everything around that, plus all the usual reviews. I'm not distracted except by like looking through the Giveth planning board, and I will pass it to Ashley. Oh, she's gone. Never mind. She's not here. I will pass it to Almond.
Thank you, Lauren. So my intentions for the call is just to sync up with the team and make sure that we're still good with the next Giveth Essential session. And I'm not distracted. My top comms priority this week is just to make sure that all the events that are coming from the communities working group are on their respective issues and they're up and ready to go at GitHub for the team to be aware and to plan communications with time. And I will pass it to Suga.
Thank you, Almond. Hi, everybody. Okay, you hearing me okay? One of my distractions involves having some weird headphones, but it seems like they're working. So
it's good enough. Maybe you can change where the speaker is. It's
what's the problem? Too loud, too low?
It's I personally have trouble hearing. Like I hear you, but it's very muffled.
Freaky. All right, let me try.
Goes out for the time being. Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a lot better. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's part of my distractions. The other is just end of the day stuff for us here. Intentions, syncing up, following along with the project owners one-on-one course and working on that, or having worked on that. I guess this is wrapping that up this week and moving on to the docs, what is Giveth, and the roadmap. And I'll pass it to Nicola.
Thanks, Suga. I hope you guys can hear me well. My focus for the week is, so create some nice tweet thread for round 22. Also ask for some support around comms with mandatory updates. So I really want to create some content and maybe issue around it and consult a little bit with you today on the timelines and maybe just like overall, just a little bit touch on it. And then another thing I wanted to just give an update that if we have confirmed another 2 more projects for Meet the Makers, then we will start creating comms for November 23rd. Yeah, that's it. No distractions except I'm feeling really terribly physically today, and but I'm here with you focused. Oh, and I'm gonna pass it to who didn't. Am I the last one? No.
I can take it.
Oh, Kotabe. Yes.
Thank you. Hey everyone, Jim. So glad to be here. So my intentions for the call is basically to sync up and will help if I can anywhere. And I have no distractions. I was setting up some things, but now I'm here. Thank you. I'll pass it. I think Mitch hasn't gone.
Hey, Watabe, I know you're just getting back from vacation, but just wondering because we started adding in our top priorities for the week, like that are comms related. Do you already know what yours are for this week?
Well, I basically am. I'm not doing too much comms on my. I have to update my role proposal, but I'm focusing more. I will be taking the Give Economy research call, and I am focusing more on the economy side and maybe a bit on projects. But yeah, so I'm mostly here also right now to sync up. But yeah,
Okay, cool. Just wanted to ask. All right, no problem.
Is it my turn? Yay. Can you guys hear me? I'm boring almost. Yeah, this week I am hoping to publish the Give Power documentation. It's got to get reviewed. Deprecating the Giveth trace documentation. And what else we got in the list here? Probably just reviewing whatever Franco pushes to update our user guides. And not really anything else comms related, I would say. And I'll pass it back to Corey.
Okay. Tropical mango. I'll pass it to you.
Hey guys, so my intention for the week is to start on the grant applications and to also work on the script for the NFT launch video. That would be really cool to have done. I'll just leave those as my big two because I think they'll take up the most time. And then the rest of just kind of going through the rest of the things on my list. And I will pass it to
Your intention for the call and also any distractions?
yeah, just sync up and I have no distractions.
Okay. Is that it?
I think it's still me.
Yep. Hey, Jake.
Yeah. Intentions for me: listen to what the comms group has. Distractions, nada. And top comms, I have some partnership outreach. I'm finalizing that GitHub issue, and that'll be the most comms. And then, like Mango, have some fundraising outreach to do this week. That would be the priorities. I think I'm last.
Cool. Yeah, I think so. I didn't forget anyone, right? No, got everyone. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Nice. Thanks, guys. We so I'll just kind of move straight into the agenda. I have a couple things here, and then also thought we would just like spend some time in the board. And yeah, some of the items include like talking about the PFP collection launch coming up in December. And actually, you know what? I can actually start with the Angel Vault item before we because the other things take a little bit more time. One thing I wanted to bring up as an update is I was in the governance call on Monday, and it became clear we had the hack that happened this weekend, and one of the sorry, Lauren, Mitch, correct me if I make a mistake here in explaining this, but the Angel Vault was it wasn't actually compromised, right? But there was an effect involved with the Angel Vault. So
what happened with the Angel Vault, or what happened with everything, is that the hacker was able to basically set the APR super high and then take out whatever rewards we had allocated to reward farmers. So the Angel Vault wasn't hacked, but it was a bunch of rewards went out way faster than they should have gone. The hacker claimed them all and ran away with it, but it wasn't didn't end up being that much.
Right. And then based off that update, there was also discussion around just in general, the Angel Vault program not being as successful as anticipated at the moment. And we had some different comms issues that have been recently been highlighted again to create reminder communications around the Angel Vault and sort of put a bunch more out on Twitter about it. But based on the discussion yesterday, been starting to look at issues, and I was also syncing with Lauren, and we would move basically all those issues now into the icebox for the time being, because it just moving forward, we wouldn't be looking to highlight the Angel Vault because it sounds like we'd likely be ending that program eventually, if I got that right.
So just to fill everybody in on the what and the why, there is a forum post about this kind of explaining it, but the Angel Vault, it's cool. We have all this like mainnet liquidity that's protecting Give against downward price pressure, blah, blah, blah. But it actually only works if Uniswap routing works. So it's like when you're when there's liquidity on a DEX, it's like not always liquidity for the 2 tokens you're trading, but each of those tokens have other liquidity pools. So it's like if you want to trade Give for DAI, you could trade Give for ETH and ETH for DAI, and it kind of routes like this. And the routing wasn't working for the Angel Vault. So even though we had like, millions of dollars of liquidity between Give and OneGive, all trades with Give were not really going through OneGive. Like this pool was being completely ignored by all the routing. So it was like Give for DAI was just like going through Uniswap pools that had like very little liquidity, and it wasn't actually like routing anywhere between like Give to OneGive to DAI, which is what we would have needed in order for the Angel Vault to actually be successful. So because of this like routing issue, the Angel Vault, it's like all that liquidity is there and we're incentivizing all that liquidity, but it's not being used at all. And we were talking with the OneGive team like for weeks about like fixing the routing and blah, blah, blah. And like with this hack happening, it's like it would require us like effort to redeploy the incentives program for Angel Vault. And we'd have to put more Give towards it. It just doesn't make any sense because we're not getting anything out of it. So from the comms perspective, like Ahmad made a great video about like how to use the Angel Vault, but I think that it's like we're gonna retire the Angel Vault, and like Ahmad made some drafts for tweets, and we were gonna try to like encourage more people to be adding liquidity, but we're just gonna be ending the liquidity incentives program, and the Angel Vault will still be there, and people could add liquidity to it if they wanted to, but like we're kind of just like putting it on pause. Putting it on pause, and like we could maybe revisit if the routing gets improved, and also we could use the OneGive token for other applications later. And when those happen, we'll kind of like put them through the comms team again and explain them for like so we can make announcements.
Yeah, thanks for the update. Does anyone have any questions? I just wanted to like mention that right away in this call. So because we had, I tagged certain people, or we were starting to flag like comms around this, and actually now we would deprioritize it. So I just want to make sure everyone got that message.
Well, just a question about it is, so right now, if I am providing liquidity to the Angel Vault, it's actually not serving any good. So will it be beneficial to give it, or will it be detrimental to give it if I withdraw my liquidity?
No, not really. A lot of people are taking rather liquidity from the Angel Vault, and since it wasn't like being routed through there, like it's like
okay,
it's not harmful to leave it in there or harmful to take it out, and it's kind of like maybe you want to put your funds somewhere else where you can actually earn on them.
Yeah, thank you. That was the question.
Oh yeah, that was not financial advice.
Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, well then that's it. So I'll just be like, I'm gonna go through the board and just kind of take anything Angel Vault related at the moment and sort of move that out. And they can be revisited if it makes sense later. So yeah, and I think I'm gonna jump around the agenda a little bit because actually, you know what? We can jump. The PFP collection is something that I wanted to touch base on because we have an epic around it. It's something that we're actively in communication about right now. It's also a forum post that Tropical Mango wanted to highlight because there's still being decisions made around the utility of it. But in terms of the actual comms planning perspective, I just wanted to check in to discuss that, to see if there's anything else that we need to make sure that we're aligned on this.
Yeah, maybe I can jump into that really quick. So we had a meeting with SanP yesterday to discuss the future of the PFP. And we were actually discussing, well, maybe just like to heads up for everyone else, last week we were saying that we were missing a narrative around this PFP collection, just like to build over and start with the messaging and with everything else. So actually, we were discussing the possibility that this collection support Giveth after the hacking. This was something that came yesterday. This is only an idea that needs to be discussed with everyone else. But we were thinking that it would be really, really nice if we can have this PFP collection, maybe if we are able to do it, to be launched a little bit before caught some of the utilities that we were discussing, specifically having an exclusive Discord channel, because it's kind of like a lot of maintenance that maybe we don't have the capacity to do. So maybe like cut the utilities, make it more simple, and launch before to support Giveth after the hacking. So I was discussing this to Tropical Mango, and we wanted to touch base with the rest of the team to hear your thoughts. But yeah, this is something that we just discussed yesterday.
I also put a summary on the forum post. So it's in there about, and there's polling. So if you want to vote and cast your vote, a couple people have already voted, but there's a few, maybe like 4 or 5 decision points on there for voting too.
Okay, so just so I clarify for myself, so I'm understanding that there's still discussions happening around the utility itself, and now there's actually discussions around launching the PFP collection way earlier as a fundraising mechanism or to support post hack. But what do you mean by cutting the utility? Like whether to limit the utility, like to just launch the thing and then implement more utility later, or and
Yeah.
how much earlier are we talking about launching it? Like, because the hack just happened, right?
Right. The cutting utility would mean only remove the benefit of having a private Discord channel for holders, basically. Because there were 3 utilities that we wanted to give to people that acquires or buys the NFT. So first was having like this exclusive Discord channel with all the holders. Then the other one was give them some nice tokens, and then the other one was also give power, like that's like the main attractive for the PFP collection. And we were just discussing that maybe remove the token gated Discord channel for everyone, like to be this easier.
Okay. All right, so there's a forum post about this where the idea is to have everyone vote on this. So I mean, that's like an FYI for everyone here on the team in the working group. But what I'm also wondering then is, like, again, timeline, right? Because we're launching the collection no matter what. It sounds like that's not in question. But I was hearing yesterday that we were talking about December, we're talking about Christmas, basically, like end of December. So should comms be like, what's going on with the timeline if it's decided in the next, I don't know, days, the next week, like that utility should be cut and let's launch this right away? What does that mean? Like launch it in the next 2 weeks or launch it faster than that?
That's a really good question. Yesterday when I talked to Santi, is that he was actually going to reach out to Lauren to see how was the dev capacity right now, because we know that maybe the team is busy fixing everything else. So and also he wanted to build a really not complicated page for the launch. Lauren, I don't know if Santi already reached out to you, but I think that maybe the timeline is going to be more clear after having that conversation.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Santi yet this week or like seen the recent update on the forum, so I'll take a look at it and leave some comments in there.
Okay, then I guess there's not much to talk about in this meeting because it's a bit timeline dependent. Other than the other thing I want to add is that, like, as we have this epic set up for the launch planning, I would also ask, like, that we just need to be, like, clear on do these issues cover what we need? Do we need more in here? At least we can be, like, setting up, you know, the most essential things. Because if we are, like, considering doing that PFP launch in the next couple of weeks, like, we really need to have our stuff together for that, right? So, so please let me know, like, please take a look at this epic. I mean, is there anything right now, at least off the top of your head, that you see is missing? Because we talked about, like, we brainstormed some different things in the last time that we talked about this, but it's also a question of capacity, right? And, like, what's really essential to launching this. And I know, like, I know Tropical Mango, you wanted to add some notes in here. It would be really, really great if you can do that, because otherwise, you know, I think we just need to make some decisions now on, you know, what exactly we're going to execute and, like, what we're going to leave. Because, like, it is a lot. And if we have, like, a week to do this, for example, or 2 weeks, it might change things a bit, right?
Look, this is the first time hearing about it, and you can't just, like, ram these things into the development schedule. Like, this PFP thing won't be done in the next couple weeks. Honestly, the fastest, if you want to do it, it'll be ready for Christmas. So, like, it's unrealistic to say that we're going to push this out super quick in the next couple weeks. Like, it's not going to happen, you guys. There's a million different things. We got freaking hacked over the weekend. Like, we're not going to throw out a PFP collection, you know, this month, even if you wanted to.
Okay, that's fine. It was just a narrative discussion we were having. It's an idea. It wasn't like a final decision or anything.
It's just too much work. Like, making a page, you have to design it, you have to develop it, you have to make it do the things, you have to test it. It's like, you know, on top of all of the other equally important things we're juggling, like boosting and stuff like that.
Okay. So there's, in terms of timeline, there's not really a scenario that would be pushed much earlier. Okay. I mean, if anything changes, obviously just let me know, but then we have a little bit more time to go through that epic in that case. Okay, I'm gonna, well then, basically, I just wanted to highlight this again. Like I said, if there's anything that needs to be added in here, please let me know. I'm gonna make some suggestions on, like, unless someone wants to self-assign themselves to the issues, I'm just gonna be going through them and seeing, like, who has capacity or willingness to take ownership of these. So if you're already working on any of these, like, please make sure to assign yourself as well. All right. Then let's see. There's also, oh yeah, the Refi Spring partnership is something I threw in here because I wanted to have a quick discussion on, like, management of these partnerships, for example. I know, Jake, you kind of added some context around this in the Communitas call the last hour. But this is just like an example of a marketing partnership. I don't think it gets much simpler than this, to be honest, for a partnership, which is where it was agreed basically doing, like, 1 tweet a month, replicating that over to LinkedIn, or doing some sort of monthly partner highlight on LinkedIn, and, you know, doing a feature in the newsletter. I would just wanted to bring it up as an agenda topic, like, what everyone sees as the best way to manage partnerships like this, because we're talking about here, like, a recurring tweet once a month, like, for this specific partner. So in my mind, that's kind of goes in line with all the other recurring content that we're creating, but this one would be specifically to highlight something around our partnership with Refi Spring once a month. But yeah, in general, like we need to kind of just be aware, like if we're working with other partners as well and making agreements with them on a monthly basis to do a little promotion here, a little promotion there. Is this something that, I feel like we could set it up in a couple of ways where either a certain contributor in the comms working group like takes ownership of like that one partner's stuff per month, or we basically always like separate these out into issues that are held together by partnership epic and then assign the issues across different contributors. I think I might go like with number 2, but I was curious, if anyone has any ideas around that or wants to talk about it. Because I'm just afraid of things slipping through the cracks a bit. So I was looking how to best organize this.
Yeah, I think if we had like a recurring content issue or a recurring content thing around like highlighting our partners, and then like had whoever was kind of responsible for like leading those partnerships like make sure that they kind of put something in there on a regular basis, like then we could I like the idea of getting like maybe like one post out for partners per month, but I really do think we should only tweet if there's actually something valuable to tweet, instead of just saying the same thing over and over again. Maybe if it's like if the partner made tracks or something, or if we could highlight something that they're doing. But then also this would like require a little bit of like collaboration with them. So like I think there's like a couple of things. Like one is like like if we're going to be having this like partnership where they want us to like retweet and stuff like that, they should get in contact with me and then be able to send tweets and be like, hey, I'd love it if you could kind of share this with Giveth. And we kind of have like open these like partner channels. And then like the other person who could be in like that group would be the person who's kind of like managing the partnership. And then the person who's like managing the partnership is responsible for like keeping an eye on like what they're doing and then maybe like drafting content around it.
Yeah. I don't know, Jake.
Also, for example, we did include a section in the last newsletter. So, I mean, we could do something similar, every newsletter we highlight a new partner. And then that's also part of us figuring out what are the highlights every month that we should highlight, and then looking at, what partner do we want to highlight for that round.
Yeah, I think that's a really great idea, having like a new partner each time. Maybe we need to have just like a better structure. Maybe Jake, this is something you could help with, is like creating a better structure on like how like this exact question is like, how is this information going through? How do we not lose track of certain partnerships? And then like maybe creating like a comprehensive proposal so that it's like we could implement it within the comms team. Because I think like right now it's like, oh, maybe there's parts we're missing. But if like somebody of defining a process.
Yeah, the process probably needs to be put out like a roadmap, like we have with some of the other donor roadmaps, partnership project roadmaps. And so with the partnership, I know right now I'm trying to gather all the information, and I kind of completed that with Griff today. So I have the information for our current partners and some of them that he feels we can kind of let die off. I'll put those all into the CRM. That would be the first step as to like gathering all the information and having it in one location. Moving it to the next steps, though, like tracking and the process. I know we've created kind of a partnership flyer in terms of expectations from both sides, but we don't have a process of how it runs through the funnel, and you're right, we need to get to something like that, and I'll agree. I know it's kind of one by one as well, because it does depend on which teams and which aspects of the partnership are going to be at play. But yeah, I think that is a really good step of creating some type of process of funnel.
Yeah, and just having it like we have it, yeah, and adding to that process just someone who's checking this every month,
when I'm adding them in there, I'm going to create tasks. I'm going to be doing my one-on-ones and reaching out to them to just introduce myself. All that information will be found in the CRM. If they come back and say, yeah, we want to re-spark this partnership, then of course I can come to you, Lauren. If it's something about Twitter, if it's a marketing, I can come to you and Corey. If it's devs, of course, I know to speak with Mitch and then get directed to where to go with that. So I guess that right now the process is to have faith in the fact that I will be doing my job and doing the one-on-ones and then directing as needed and putting tasks in the CRM to make follow-ups at least every month or every couple months to check in with our current partners and then any of our future partners. And then checking GitHub issues, for example, like this refi, I've checked and seen that Corey's been in contact with them about the marketing outreach. So I know it's in good hands at that point. So in terms of like, is there more process needed? I have control over it, and I'll probably will continue to have control over it and trust in the CRM and my organization in the CRM. If there's more process needed, I can do that. But that's kind of the process as I've created and what I'm going to be doing and where I've started with these partnership outreach and what I'll continue to do with it.
Okay, cool. I think for now then, sorry, that's not right. Yeah, for now, I think like the best system we have is, you know, keeping partnerships in the planning board organized by epics. And this is also ongoing, so I'm probably just going to move this actually, like now that we've reviewed all of this, I'm just going to move this to the epic column. So it's no longer like in a status, but it's just going to sit in the epic for a moment. Maybe, yeah, I'll just keep looking at, like, I guess the process around that, like how to keep optimizing this. But essentially, yeah, we'll want to start drafting like a regular reoccurring monthly tweet, and we will need to think about the content for that. And that will, it's going to take some liaison between the comms team and like, yeah, on the partnership side always, because we don't want to just put out the same thing every month. Here they even made a suggestion like this can be posted about each other's work or sharing refi springs probably good, but we need that trickle of like content coming over from them regularly, like on a monthly basis for us to tweet about. Or of course we can come up with our own thing, but if we don't really have anything from our side, yeah, ideally they're giving us stuff, right? And we're kind of using our platform to help promote the partnership. So it just takes a little bit of syncing always, I think, between comms and you know, partnerships on our side, and then with the actual partner, yeah, through like a channel makes sense. Maybe like as we were just discussing in the Communitas call, like through a you know, a group DM, or if it's a larger partnership, you know, through an actual channel. Yeah, and I guess we can just have an owner of the issue itself for the tweet. So the same way that we're doing it with the newsletter, for example. Okay, cool. It just came to mind because, yeah, Ahmad, thank you for including them in the newsletter. That for me would have just been coming out of my memory or like going through issues from time to time to remember that we're supposed to include them, right? So I'm thinking like we just need a better process in general for these other components. Cool. So, right, and I'm gonna wrap this up into the content planning topic as well. Cool. Sweet. Thanks. Does anyone else have anything to add to that topic? Otherwise, I will, yeah, I want to check in on the project owners one-on-one course. Okay, sweet. So, yeah, we talked about the course quite a bit. Actually, I had like one thing I thought might make a lot of sense for us today, since we're really, really close to finalizing it, which is awesome, through everybody's like collaborative effort on this. Would it make sense? I would suggest that we pick a launch date at this point that's reasonable, that we can achieve, and then, you know, create some tangible plan around like when we're actually going to put this out and announce it on Twitter and with a blog post, and yeah, start promoting it to our community. So I was curious what you guys think. And Ahmad, maybe you can provide some context around like how done we actually are.
Yeah, thanks. So we're basically done. There's just one last video that we need to finish. I have all of the content thanks to Nicola. So thanks for that. I just need to finish a part of it with a voiceover. So I think it should be done by tonight. So in the next couple of hours. So we could launch it anytime from tomorrow onwards. I was thinking we may want to launch it with an event. So maybe we could launch it along with the upcoming event that we're doing on the 9th of November, the project verification workshop that we're doing. So maybe we could announce it then potentially. But yeah, like I'm willing to hear what other people think.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. I think that's a great idea because I don't know if everybody knows this because I just found out yesterday, but we're doing a project verification workshop like in our Discord, explaining to people about like project verification. And I think we're like also going to be doing, so it's like a verification workshop / AMA. And this is like focused on project owners. So it would be like another opportunity to kind of like build more hype around that. And yeah, I don't know. Amin, would love your feedback on this as well, because we were talking about like having another Twitter space separately about like the value of verification and answer everybody's questions, not just from the project owner perspective, but like, I don't know if we want to like combine all these things together. So there's like a Twitter space talking about it and a workshop telling more project owners about it, or like what's the best way to build hype for it. But I think now is kind of a quiet time anyway for announcements. Like next week, it's like that's the main thing that we have going on, and other than that, there's not really like huge producty launchy things. So it's a good time to kind of like put the thunder on the video course.
Yeah, I think that it would be maybe the Twitter space that we were thinking on the 30 about project verification can be about everything of the project owners 101, meaning policies and verification. And then maybe would be good to have Nicolas and Ashley's feedback, but we could have on the 7th a session dedicated to this special session dedicated to this on Discord as well. So I don't know, what do you think, Matt, about like this date? If it's maybe you would like to have this earlier, but maybe on the 30th can be a good day for us to launch this.
So you're saying like the end of November on the 30th?
Yeah.
Launch it? I mean, we could, but I mean, like Lauren said, I think in the next couple of weeks is a good time because we don't have that much else going on. So maybe on the 30th, we can go in detail about it and like dive deeper into it. And remind people about it. But I think it would be nice to launch it in the next week or so if we can.
I was also gonna say, like, I would maybe I'm not like, I don't know. I don't think we, like, my opinion is we don't need to wait to launch it until that space. Like we could still launch it, do all our communications around it, and then the space comes 2 to 3 weeks later, and then we can really highlight it again, you know, like we're promoting it like multiple times over a period of time and through different channels versus then holding the launch because it's a, you know, we've been working on it for months, and it would be a whole other month of it just sitting there like done. And then I'm thinking within that month is when hopefully we're launching then like boosting, you know, and we have like a bunch of comms to put out about that. And yeah, it would, right now it just seems to be that gap period. So I kind of could see like launching it next week in conjunction with that Discord. It's a Discord space, right? And then the 30th is only 20 days later, like 3 weeks later, which would be another opportunity to highlight it.
Sure. So this will mean that this is a question maybe for Lauren, that we should change the messaging behind the tweets inviting people to the session of the 9th. If we want to change the focus of the session.
I think we can. I don't know. I don't know how much planning and preparation went into this session, and I think I imagine that you guys have a plan, and the whole point was to teach people specifically about verification. I think we could make additional they're kind of two separate items, but work together as well. It's with the kind of narrative being hey, we're providing all these great resources for projects. We've just launched this video course, and also if you want to dive in more to one of the details of it, join our verification workshop kind of thing.
Yeah, I see the verification as a subset of the course. I think we launched the course, and I think when this much work goes into this kind of like a course like this, we should just be cross promoting it as much as we can over a period of time. So I think I personally think you could leave to echo Lauren, I don't know how much planning went into this or what the program is for that space or for that meeting in Discord, but you could just keep that focused on verification, but you're highlighting also the new course that we have available for, projects to learn about all the other things or get a step-by-step run through. And one piece of that is also the verification, but you do it focus on the verification. And then when we have the Twitter space 3 weeks later, again, it's focused around whatever, but we're also highlighting the new course that we have up. And I think maybe just, keeping things the way they're planned and always just mentioning and highlighting and bringing attention to the course whenever it's relevant. That's the point of it being up now, right? Is we can constantly reference it.
Sure, I think that works. I don't know, Ashley, if you want to add something, but I think it's cool to mention the launch of the course at the beginning, and then just keep with the verification session. What do you think? I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I'm on board. So we can launch it next week, basically, the video course, and kind of bring a lot of hype around that, and then also kind of piggyback on the energy of launching the course to be and also join our verification course. And we can kind of we have multiple days in which we can tweet, and some of them can be together and some of them can be separate.
Yeah, and it's the workshop thing, this verification workshop thing is going to be kind of a more hands-on thing. So it's if we have this video course, there is a video on verification, and we're actually hosting an in-person session about verification. Come join us.
Makes sense. Yeah, so I guess, is there anything else we need to prep for this? I mean, there's the blog post, there's tweet thread probably. Anything else you think we should do? I think you're on mute, Corey, sorry.
Whoops. Yeah, I was looking at how you launched the last one, and I'm assuming tweet blog posts are standard. It sounds good to me because then we're also promoting in other places, right? The workshop, Twitter spaces, more tweets in the future. But I'm not, if anyone has any ideas, I'm definitely gonna be working on the tweet thread over the next days. I wanted to understand the launch date first. Suga already created a draft for the blog post that's been reviewed. We're still being reviewed, being finalized. So is there anything else that you did for the last course that maybe not thinking of? There was also, I think, the idea of creating a
the quiz and the POAP and everything. Yeah, so last time we did a quiz and a POAP, but we got a lot of spam doing that. So I don't know if it's a good idea to try it again. I mean, we got over 12,000 people fill that form. And I think real people, maybe 20. So I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, but it is cool to have like a POAP or something, but I don't know. It just seemed like it was more trouble than it was worth.
Do you know why you had so much spam there? Like, was there incentive offered for?
Just the POAP. I mean, there's like POAP farmers that, you know, try to fill every single POAP that they can get. There's like bots and stuff.
Yeah, it's like pretty much these people wanted these co-ops so bad they wrote bots to just fill out the form with all the same information over and over again, except for like a different email or something. And it was a lot. I'm curious though, are we planning on putting this also on the Blockchain Learning Center website where we have the other one? And if there's a way that we can offer incentive through there, like maybe if they have to log in to take the quiz, like maybe we can give them a link to the co-op thing that way, and that way we can gate it a little bit more. Anyways, something to maybe think about.
Yeah, let's try it. I haven't been in contact with them for a while, but yeah, I could send them like a message and see if they can help us do that. Yeah, so we might need like a checklist for this, Corey, you know, all the things that we need to do for the launch, like an epic.
So we have an epic. We can update it though with oh, sorry, I just drew a blank. So basically, project owners 101 course, you know, we have this epic here. So like
Yeah, but that's for the videos. I think we need one for the launch too, right?
Well, this is for the launch, right? So maybe I should rename this actually, but like this should include like we're preparing like tweet thread. We have the yeah. So like of course like all the videos creating, but that which is also comms working on that, right? And then part of that is also like blog post here, Twitter content, which like also is a question, you know, Claire, if there's anything specifically needed, reformatting of some sort to put this out. I would think we should really be looking at Facebook and LinkedIn, considering that's where all the projects live and breathe. So like projects who aren't on Giveth yet. So yeah, I think that's just something to consider. If we want to, also the launch date is, would that be on the 9th, or would we want to launch that a day or two before the workshop? I would say I would personally probably say a day before at least. So then it's, I don't know, up and running to reference during the workshop.
I've got a placeholder in Plannable for that on the 9th.
What do you guys think? Like same day as like, hey, in our course launch today, and it's like, and you know, it's a specific workshop around the verification process, but like, then you have like a whole intro to promote the course.
Maybe a day before.
Sorry, I meant it's in the day before. That's the 8th, isn't it? Not the 9th.
Yeah.
Just check the date.
I think the 8th sounds good to me. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but I don't know. It sounds like more relaxed to do it the day before to make sure like everything's up.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that there's particular reason to have it on the same day. We've got two things to talk about. It's always nice to spread it out a little bit, even if they're joined.
Okay. If anyone has anything else to add to that, sorry. Okay. Yeah, right. So we'll do launch date November 8th. Yeah, I can outline like a checklist here, but it's basically going to be like Twitter announcement, right? And blog posts, putting it up, and then we just want to think about like LinkedIn, Facebook announcements if like, yeah, if adjustments are needed. And then I think that's it. And then if you want to just consider if there's any communications needed or some kind of an announcement I don't know if you would use anything in Discord, for instance, or having a post prepared for the workshop. Like, I don't know if you have even, I haven't actually, like, I'm not even thinking about the format right now within Discord, but maybe there's a way you can have the, you want to kind of like present the course and have that there in the chat, right, on the side of the workshop. So it's like in front of everyone, like during the workshop. Just little things like that to consider.
And I'm also wondering, because it's a Wednesday, is there a Twitter space on Wednesday as well, before an hour before that? Almond?
No, not next week. We're doing every 2 weeks.
Oh, so that's not okay. Thanks.
Okay, cool. Well then I think that's it on that topic, unless there's anything else. I think we're set to go with launching it, which is amazing. And I think we should really promote it as much as possible over the next while, because like a lot of work went into this. So sweet. Yeah, okay, we're already at the top of the hour. Is there anything, I know a couple people mentioned a few things here in the check-in. Is there anything that I missed during this meeting?
Yeah, only super quick. I would like to sync maybe in another call with Sim, Claire, Lauren, you and me, Corey, about the proposal that I have to start using, or like to consider Notion as well to be a repository for our drafts, for then be reviewed and have them everything in one place instead of having multiple docs. So I just recorded a little video about how that could be used. So maybe we can schedule a different meeting for us to review if this is something that could be interesting or fun or functional for the team.
Yeah, thanks. And just to also add some context around that, so Claire's been testing out the Planable platform over the last months, and Sim was also giving a lot of guidance around this. So we've been digging into the topic a lot more around content planning specifically, and like there's quite a lot of steps to connect between even the dev team all the way through to like execution of the content, and then which platforms to use, and like looking deeply into like GitHub capabilities, and then looking into like we need to have automated posting or executable like posting through a platform. And then there's obviously like the documentation itself or like drafting itself. So it's like really helpful to get that input, but would want to keep the discussion first a little bit like streamlines between like people who have been actually testing out these platforms before. And then once we have that a little bit more organized, would like to open it up into a bigger discussion with the working group here, because it's requiring a set of meetings and also a lot of like hands-on testing with some of this stuff to flush out what's going to be the simplest but like most effective process for us. So yeah, before creating like separate meetings around that, it would help to have a little bit of time first to like take that into consideration with like all the other things that we've been looking at over the last months. Because yeah, storing Giveth documentation, not like the ones that are going on the website, but actually like drafts and like all of the drafts that we have spread across contributors, like it's a different topic, whether that's done through Google Drive or whether that's done through Notion. Yeah, we need to explore that a little bit as well. But as long as I'm trying to avoid also a case where like we need onboarding across the whole group again on like a platform. It would be nice to know actually how comfortable everyone feels with Notion in this group. That would be like one piece of feedback that would be really helpful to know.
I haven't used it yet, but I've seen some videos on it and it looks like it's got quite a bit of capability. I'm not sure what it would be used to replace just yet, because it wouldn't have the same capabilities as something like Planable. But if we had to decide that we weren't going to use a social media scheduler, we were just going to use this and then schedule it on each platform individually, maybe this is an option. Otherwise, yeah, but we can discuss it and
Yeah, I
see.
mean, literally just how comfortable. Notion's not just content planning, it's like lots of stuff within Giveth. So it's a question of like, if everyone here right now said, yeah, they feel comfortable with Notion, that would just be good to know. But if most people here would say like, no idea, never used it, it's also good to know. Just like even coming from that baseline. Because I think in general, it's something to be aware of, like as a platform for this group, because like we're creating all this like Giveth Essentials information. Like that should sit in Notion. There's like lots of different things that should be sitting in Notion probably like over time, like assets we're creating, like all kinds of things, right? There could technically be like 1 or 2 people that are doing those updates, or we could actually be like doing this, using it in a broader scale, like across the working group. But it's always a question of where people are comfortable and what's decided across a group.
Yeah, I don't know about everyone else, but I would just have to watch a couple more videos, but it looks like it's got a lot of capability, so it makes sense to try use it. Yeah, that's what's decided.
Okay. Cool. If you want to write maybe a quick ping here in the chat, that'd be nice to know. How do you guys feel about Notion? Can everyone just write something really fast in this chat? And then anyways, let's say bye and let you guys jump because we're like past the hour. I want to respect your time. And thanks a lot. And yeah, we can revisit that topic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks. See you soon.
Bye.